Today we're checking out this TruShield low profile hard tri-fold tonneau cover for the 2021 and newer F-150s with the 5.5 foot bed. This cover is going to be ideal if you're looking for a clean, secure way to protect your bed and the cargo from the weather or theft, while also keeping a really slick, flush appearance that doesn't mess with your truck's line and looks like a factory product. It's going to be a great match for daily drivers, weekend haulers, or folks who just want better organization and peace of mind when they're carrying gear in their bed. This cover gives you the strength and security of a hard shell setup with the convenience of a tri-fold design. Each panel is built with a really solid core for added durability so that you can trust it's going to hold up against impacts, weather, and even someone trying to tamper with your cargo. This tri-folding action means that it can open up partially or all the way depending on what you're hauling and your exact needs at the time. And it's easy to use with its clamp-on system, and it's overall just a really clean look on the back of your truck, and the operation is flawless as well. One of the standout features is going to be how low it sits and how it's flush with the bed. This thing hugs the bed rails really tight, giving it that flush, factory-like look. It's not bulky or raised like some of the other hardcovers, so it keeps your truck looking clean and helps it stay aerodynamic. That design also helps cut down on the wind noise and the drag, just giving you a smoother overall experience. This weather sealing around all of the edges is going to help keep water out and dust free, so your stuff stays dry and clean when that weather gets ugly. Plus, it's lightweight enough for one person to open and close it without needing a second set of hands. And when you need full bed access, the cover folds up and secures into place without needing to be completely removed. The panels themselves are made from lightweight yet really tough aluminum core with a durable, black, textured finish that holds up well to scratches, UV exposure, and that everyday abuse that your truck sees. The frame is reinforced to prevent flexing, and the seals around the edges are made from high-quality rubber that stays pliable even in extreme temperatures. You're getting a long-term durability product here without adding a ton of weight to the back of your truck. Now, as far as pricing goes on this, it's coming in right around that upper $600 price point. That's in the line you'd expect from a hardtop folding cover with this level of perfect fitting flush, especially when you consider how clean it looks in the back of your bed. Installation on this is very straightforward, so it's getting rated just a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and you can have this installed in 1 hour or less of your time right there in the driveway. Just clamp it on, align it properly, and you're ready to roll. Now let's head on out to the shop, and they can give you a detailed walkthrough of exactly how that install process goes.
For this install, you will need an impact, a 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter if necessary, a 17mm socket, angle cutters or scissors, and the provided Allen wrench. What's up guys, today we're going to be doing a tonneau cover on our F-150, so let's get started. Alright guys, so we've got our rails in our bed and we're going to get the pieces required onto those before we set them in place. Now the first thing we want to do is come to the open end of our rail that's going to go towards the bulkhead of our bed. We're going to attach our mounting brackets for our cover itself. These have a set screw. You want to make sure you turn that back to at least flush. And we're going to bring that over to our rail. That's going to slot right into this end like so. And we're going to set that in place. You want to bring it in a bit. We're not going to tighten them down fully just yet because we might need to move them to line up with our mounting holes on our cover. So we'll just hand tighten those set screws just so they don't wiggle around too much for us, and we'll do the same thing for our other rail. Make sure you're going the right way with it. Again, we'll just snug that down. Now once you get those on, you want to attach your drain tubes to the open end of this rail. These are just going to slot right into the end, like so. Make sure those go all the way in. Sometimes they're pretty tight. Now we're done with this side of our rails. We can flip this over. And down at this end, we're going to add in our latch locks. So same thing, they have a set screw. Just make sure they're at least flush. We can attach them at the end of our rails like so. And again, just gonna snug those set screws down for now. We're not gonna fully tighten them. And we'll do the same thing on this side. You wanna make sure the angled end of your latch lock is facing up. Now that we've got this on, we're ready to go up onto the bed of the truck. Now we can set our cover rails onto our bed rails. We're gonna set this on. You wanna bring the end with the drain tubes nice and flush with the bulkhead of your bed. We'll hold that in place. We're gonna grab our provided clamps. This front side of the clamps goes into the little slot that is on your rail. And it's gonna clamp around the back side of your bed rail. And we're gonna grab a 17mm socket and snug this down. Then we'll do the same thing for our rear clamp. Once you have this side snug down, you can do the same thing for your other rail. So once you have both of your rails in, you're gonna wanna reach into your kit and grab your provided weather strip seal for the top of your bulkhead of your bed. Now, as you can see, we already have one on here from previous installs, and they're kind of a pain to get off, so we're just gonna use the existing one. But for you at home, you wanna lay this out within the footprint of your bulkhead, especially if you have these plastic covers. And then grab some scissors or something and cut that down to size, peel the backing off of the adhesive, and just stick that across there. Now we're gonna set our cover onto the rails. Make sure that sits evenly in the footprint of your rails. You want to line that up flush with your bulkhead as well. Now we're going to unfold our cover and make sure it's nice and centered. Just want to make sure it folds out evenly. And it's going to land within the footprint of where your tailgate goes. Then we can fold this first section back up so we can line up our mounting bolts on those brackets we installed to the rails. Now we're going to come underneath of our cover to the first panel, and we're going to slide that mounting bracket into place lined up with the mounting hole that is on the first panel of our cover. Again, we're just going to get our set screw hand tight because we may need to move around a little bit. We'll do that for both sides. Now we're going to come outside of the truck to our first panel, and you will find the hole for your mounting bolt. So we're going to take our provided flat top mounting bolt, stick that through. It may take a little bit of finagling. That should line right up with that mounting bracket, and you want to do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to come back underneath and install our provided flat washer and lock washer onto our bolt. Once that's on, you can install your provided hand nut. Now you may have to put some tension on the bolt by pushing on it to get this started. They do like to spin a little bit. Once you get past the area where the cotter pin's gonna go, it should spin pretty freely. And we can tighten this down. We want this to be nice and tight. Once you've got that tight, you can install the cotter pin through the bolt, like so. Then we can take our provided Allen wrench and tighten down that set screw on our mounting bracket. Then we'll do the same thing for the other side. Now we can come out and set our lock latches in position. So we'll fold our rear panel over. We're gonna line these up with these dowels. So you want to bring this out until it is centered on this latch, like so. Then we'll tighten down our set screw again with our provided Allen wrench. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. Once you've got those both set, you want to fully close your cover. Make sure that locks into position. You also want to close your tailgate. Make sure that goes over the end of the tailgate. If you need to adjust it at all, you can bring it back, loosen up those set screws, bring your cover back. Just make sure it's nice and centered. Now once you've got everything set up and adjusted the way you want to bring back that 17mm socket and just give a final snug down on those clamps for your rails. Then you can do the same thing for the rest of your clamps. Now one last thing you want to do is route your drain tubes out of your bed. So on these trucks, you do have some grommets down at the bottom of your bed. You have a couple of options. You could cut a hole in it and run the drain tube through and seal that up. For demonstration purposes, we're just going to pop those grommets out and route our drain tubes out of our bed. They just pop right off. And route that right out of your bed. And you can do the same thing for the other side. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up our review and install of our TruShield low profile hard tri-fold tonneau cover for your 21 to current F-150 with 5.5 foot bed. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.